Hello guys, my name's Tony, and today I'm going to be showing you a Kerbal Space Program video. We are building a small, lowish tech orbital space station around Kerbin. I call it the COS. You'll see me name it here in a second, because I'm super unoriginal and I didn't know what else to call it. So I learned a couple of little tricks watching a few YouTubers like Matt Lown and stuff like that. But you can see me here, I kind of clip this in here. It gives it like access doors, since you can't get through the bottom of it. And I mean, the Kerbals could go through the top, but it just makes it look more realistic to me. See here, I'm just kind of setting up a few things. I wanted this to look like it'd be structurally supported, so I'm going to add some struts to it, stuff like that. As you can see, I'm going to fight and argue with it because I like these to be as straight as possible. I do give up eventually. One of them's a little but it works. It's supported, it's structurally sound, and it looks kind of cool if you ask me. I like building space stations. They're pretty fun. I just like this game in general. I'm super hooked on space, but I'm adding a couple of lights here, uh, more or less so the Kerbals can actually, see everything if they're on the darker side of the planet. For when I send a team up here, probably won't send a team to actually this one. I may send someone up there just to man it, but I'm gonna wait till I unlock some better stuff and put a science lab and build an actual station. But again, I play a career mode, so I have to actually unlock all that stuff. You can see my parts are a little lacking. I do actually clip a probe core in here because I'm going to attempt to recover this. You may catch on to it during this part of the video what I forgot to put on here to, you know, recover it, but I didn't notice it until about the time I was about to crash, and well, that's how things are. Lost a little bit of money there. This is a contract. Now, lucky enough for me, the advance for the contract is 50,000, 54,000-ish. Total payout's like 150,000. I play at 70% science to give myself more of a challenge, but in turn I bump the funds up to it's like 150 or 170 or whatever. At least I do that until I get past minimus, just so I can actually get some funding to go. That way I'm not stuck just doing part testing for days at a time. But I'm just kind of testing out the whole video aspect of it. I've had a couple of people, I do Instagram stuff. I had a couple people, ask me about my stations and my old New Horizons. This is a different save file. I used to actually play the enhanced version on Xbox because I didn't have a good PC, but I actually just got one recently, so I haven't played KSB on PC since 1.2, I believe, and this is like my 5th day back. So hopefully it's not too bad. I'm still getting a little used to some of the controls. I don't quite remember all the shortcut keys, and I just have a couple of basic mods right now because I am not used to K-Chan or Chi-Chan or whatever it's called. Had a little issue with the mods crashing the game. I tried to play it stock. Oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm launching here. Anyways, I tried to play it stock, but I like the visual enhancements and some like the better time warp and stuff. Anyways, this is real basic ascent. Again, I was trying to keep this as cheap as possible just to make some money, so I just did the bare minimum for booster wise. This isn't actually the best ascents. I was testing this graph for like 4 hours prior to actually finding a design I liked and shooting this, so I was rushing it a little bit. You see the fins on the bottom though. I didn't have those originally, and this thing would flip right about here, like without guaranteed, it just would do it. So I figured, whatever, we'll throw some fins on there. Not that expensive, but just kind of cutting up through the descent right now. I do have this playing back at a little higher speed, so one, I don't have to sit here and talk for 30 minutes. You don't have to listen to me talk for 30 minutes, or watch this boring video for 30 minutes. Either way, I'm just basic catch up. If you see I had the little orbit thing down there, since my Redux mod is throwing a fit for some reason. Probably installed it incorrectly. But I was originally going for about 130 orbit. I do change my mind, decide to go to 150 later because that's where I like my stations at. But you'll see here in just a second, playing around with the maneuver nodes. I get kind of picky about this. Let's show the payload. Either way, a little trick I like to do when I do precise maneuver burns, you'll see it in a second. I will burn down to where I'm in the last 50 to 100 meters a second. I'll switch over to the map screen and just bring my throttle down a little bit. the target node on the nav ball smart. It'll actually adjust it if you go past your burn time a little bit. Just a little tip if you're having trouble getting that nice circular orbit that you're trying to do, just cut the throttle right before the end and just puff a little bit until you're at where you want to be at. Once you get there, you can usually get it pretty close. I'm really particular about my circular orbits. Like I like them to be spot on. I don't know, it's a bit of a problem. I think I waste more time than I should doing it. But you see here, I'm just taking care of the burn, and you'll see me cut off to the map screen here in just a second. Right there. I'm just gonna watch it come up, cut the engine, and puff, bam, almost perfect. You could also cut over and adjust your engine, the amount of thrust you give it. I'm forgetting what it's called, to like 20%. Just lightly tap it. That way you get really small, precise burns. Especially with stuff like poodles that are pushing a super light payload. I mean, they're vacuum efficient. They work pretty well. But right around here, when I went to go finalize my circularization, I decided to go to 150. You'll see me kind of kick it up in a second. Yeah, 155, that's what it was. I think it ends up like at 154 by the time I'm done. And then I'm just gonna quickly warp over to apparatus, or the highest point of the orbit. I can never say that word. And you'll see me just kind of adjust it to make a circular. It's kind of lightly puffing right now. Let's see, line up with a prograde, and you'll see I'll just very lightly throttle it up until they spin. I'll cut it. Yeah, that's pretty close. I'm happy with it. Anyways, you notice here in a second, I didn't actually deploy anything on the space station. I go back and fix that. I didn't even realize I didn't do it until I was about back to Kerbin with the tug or booster, whatever you want to call it. But right here, I'm going to go ahead and decouple it. I actually forgot to decouple it, try to switch to it. I'm kind of an idiot. I'm not very good at this game, but I'm getting better, I think. So right here, I'm just going to kind of use some RCS to get away from it. I didn't put a reaction wheel on it. I should have. I'm going to hit it because, again, I'm bad. Get it set over to retrograde. Just kind of pop the map screen up here. Oh, actually, let's say goodbye to the station real quick. All right. Nice and beautiful view. I'm just going to pop over to the map screen and burn retrograde until my periapsis is 14 to 10,000. I don't need it to be all the way down. I do some adjustment on the way down. I'm trying to save some fuel in case I needed it to land this thing. But as you can see now, I forgot to add parachutes, which that's my bad. So we don't actually recover this stage. I tried, but the poodle just doesn't have enough umph in it to actually recover it. Luckily, this was only about, I think, 3,000 funds, so I didn't lose out on too much. I usually try to recover this part of it again because I play career mode and money is a problem sometimes. Also, I do play at 100% temp here. You can see right here, there's my science at 70 and funds are at 170. Okay. Anyways, just to show you guys that I do play at full re-entry heating, in case anyone was wondering. It's kind of speed down here. And this is what I realized, I don't have parachutes, so I did my best to try to save it, but as you can see, it just can't, so yeah, it blew up. Anyways, let's go to the tracking station, get back to the orbitals thing, and I'll let the video do the speaking.